Well, folks, the days just keep getting shorter on us. So while it's getting colder and darker by the day, there are two things that continue to heat up and get brighter: holiday season and college basketball season. And if the Saints' last performance on this court is any indication, things might stay hot and bright around these parts for a good long while ahead. Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in on a crisp and clear Wednesday evening for a midweek non-conference edition of St. Martin's men's basketball. Alongside Saints Director of Athletic Communications, Austin Burns, I'm Jeff Lucero, happy to be here with you for the live broadcast from Marcus Pavilion on the Saints Digital Network. Our game this evening pits the Saints against a nearby but largely unfamiliar foe tonight, the University of Puget Sound Loggers. Out of the Northwest Conference, the Loggers are a Division III program from just up the road a piece in Tacoma. We'd also like to welcome in any Logger fans tuning in tonight. Very nice to have you along for the broadcast as well. We'll talk matchup shortly, but first, we've got to chat about the home team. And for the Saints, well, there is so much to discuss, and all of it is good stuff indeed. The Saints come into tonight's contest feeling awfully good about themselves, having just put together one of the best performances we've seen in the second full season under head coach Aaron Landon. After a tough loss to Alaska Anchorage to open league play last Thursday, the Saints tangled with Alaska Fairbanks 2 nights later, and the two squads played to a 30-30 halftime stalemate. None of us can really be sure what Aaron Landon said to his guys in the locker room during the intermission, but whatever it was, it surely worked like gangbusters. The Saints came out in the second half with their hair on fire, playing an absolutely possessed brand of basketball. First, it was Marky Adams getting in on the action. He had 3 staggering, punishing two-handed dunks in the first 6 minutes of the second frame, all of which served to ignite the Saints offense. Then it was newcomer Christian Hafner getting into the flow. He crushed 4 second-half threes to accelerate the Saints' ever-growing momentum. Alex Schumacher, well, he stayed aggressive all night. His poise and prowess kept the Nanooks defense on its heels and off balance throughout the game. Hey, let's not leave out Tyke Thompson hitting a couple of clutch threes and swatting 4 blocks, all of them timely. And directing it all was the playmaking wizardry of new point guard Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. Skinny into the night having handed out 10 assists, doing a spectacular job of distributing and constantly getting his teammates set up in the right spots. He had just 1 steal in the game, but it came at a perfect time in the closing moments when the Nanooks still had one last breath in them. But his steal and score off an inbounds pass sealed the Saints' enormous statement-making 87-74 victory. Let's now welcome in Austin Burns to the broadcast. And Austin, what a win it was for the Saints on Saturday. In all, 6 different dudes finished in double figures. They shot 52% from the floor. They were +6 on the glass. They took care of the ball, just 3 turnovers in the second half. Oh, and by the way, they did it on a night when their leading scorer, Brett Reed, was having an off game. Austin, so many guys showed out for this team Saturday night. Saints head coach Aaron Landon has to feel good about this team really starting to click just about all of the offensive elements of its game into place at just about the very same time. If they keep humming along like this, they're going to be awfully tough to reckon with going forward in the GNAC.
There was one word that summarized that entire game for me. It was unselfish. The Saints played a very unselfish basketball. They were sharing. Everybody was getting their shots up. You read off, 5-6 names who made major contributions into the second half. And so, for me, the Saints are really coming together. They're finding what's working. And again, like you said, Brett Reed wasn't even doing his normal, 15 points and 8 rebounds. I mean, and so for St. Martin's, it's about finding that consistency now. You know it's there. The talent is there. The Saints can absolutely score with the best of them. Can they do it on a consistent night? And here you go. Here's a night. It's a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. It's a non-conference game. It's easy to maybe kind of look past this. Head coach Aaron Landon, he's going to have his guys focused, ready to go. They're going to want a hot start here tonight.
And with that win, the Saints move their overall record to 5-3 on the young season. Already more wins for head coach Aaron Landon in his second full season at St. Martin's than he had his entire first season at the helm here in Lacey. We'll take a quick break on the pregame show as time winds closer to the opening tip of Saints men's basketball. You're dialed in to the St. Martin's men's basketball pregame show on the Saints Digital Network. And welcome back to the Saints men's basketball pregame show, and it's time for a quick look at tonight's opponent for the Saints. The Loggers enter tonight's game with an overall record of 4-5, and after tonight, well, their record will still be 4-5. While this game counts as an official game for the Saints, this is in fact an exhibition game for Puget Sound. This team is both experienced and local. Among the 15 players Loggers head coach Aubrey Shelton has on this roster, 7 of them are from the Puget Sound area. They are not the University of Puget Sound in name only. And of those 15 dudes, every single one of them began their collegiate basketball careers at UPS. Remarkably, there isn't a single transfer suiting up for the Loggers this year. Now, 3 of those local players are all regular starters for the Loggers, and all 4 of their top 4 scorers are from among that group of local products. One of their starters hails from right here in town. Grant Erickson played high school ball at Capitol, just a few miles across town. The Loggers' best player to this point in the season, no doubt, it's Paul Johnson. The 6-foot sophomore from Seattle averages nearly 21 points per game and is one of the best pure shooters in the Northwest Conference. Another big factor for this team, Cal Hansen, the 6'5 senior and former high school teammate of Paul Johnson at O'Day, averages a near double-double with 12.8 points and 9.9 rebounds per game. But we've got some late-breaking news to share. The Loggers will be without Paul Johnson tonight. The team's leading scorer missed their last game with a sprained ankle. Loggers head coach Aubrey Shelton sharing with me earlier this afternoon that his team will also be without the services of 3 other guards in their rotation tonight besides Paul Johnson. Liam Rutledge, Will Poland, and Carson Carey will all also not be available. More on that here in just a bit. So as a team through 9 games, the Loggers are averaging about 73 points per game. They're shooting 42% from the floor, but just 29% from 3 and 66% at the foul line. Thing is, though, Austin, they come in tonight with literally nothing to lose. Remember, this is an exhibition game for the Loggers. They come in with a record of 4-5, and they'll leave tonight with a record of 4-5. So really and truly, they literally cannot lose tonight. They also have a solid front line in Cal Hansen, Grant Erickson, and Musi Teklemariam. Not only that, but with so many of their backcourt players out tonight, that just presents opportunities for other guys to step up and show out. As we just said, they have literally nothing to lose, and since the Saints can, in fact, lose tonight, as this game does count on their schedule, they'd be wise not to look past a team looking to level up against a D2 opponent here tonight.
For me, Puget Sound, they love to get to the board. +7 over their opponents in rebounding, and that has a lot to do with the lefty Cal Hansen, averaging nearly a double-double, 9.9 boards a game. He's got a lot in front of him here tonight with Mark Adams and Brett Reed, but you know he's going to want to stretch the floor a bit. He's going to want to come outside, kind of move those bigs around so he can get a lane driving in. For me, Puget Sound is going to look to try and dominate on the glass, win that battle down low, slow down the game, and then come at the Saints.
Fans are starting to trickle in here for a midweek contest from a couple of schools just a couple miles away from one another. They don't see too much of each other on the hardwood, but that's all about to change tonight. We'll take our last break before the opening tip of tonight's GNAC Basketball Showdown. When we come back, we will set the stage with some starting lineups and a few last-second thoughts on tonight's matchup. This has been the Saints men's basketball pregame show on the St. Martin's Digital Network. And welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion for tonight's non-conference matchup between the St. Martin Saints and the Puget Sound Loggers. By the way, we're going to have some extra newfangled graphics coming at you here in just a moment, so I don't have to fumble my way through the starting lineups as I usually do. We'll get to those in just a moment. But one thing I will tell you about the Loggers lineup, not one but two local products in the starting lineup tonight. Because Paul Johnson is unavailable for the Loggers, Aubrey Shelton will call upon C.J. Gethers, another local product. He prepped at Tumwater, just a little bit further down the road from Capital, where Grant Erickson hails from. That's kind of a cool note that we'll have two local products, Austin, in the starting lineup for the Loggers.
Oh, absolutely. You love when you get these I-5 rivalries. You know, we got another one coming up later this week. You love to see the local talent be able to get on the floor. You know, hopefully some friends and family can come out and support. I mean, it's always fun. And, you know, it's a nice break after you just had for the Saints, you know, your first week of conference action to be able to come play some local schools. I think it's great for the community. It really is.
So a couple of teams just down the road I-5 from one another. By the way, it's been about 12 years since the Loggers and Saints tangled inside Marcus Pavilion, or in any gym for that matter. It was, in fact, the Saints taking down Puget Sound by a score of 74-72 back in November, late November of 2009. The Saints were led that night by the 31 points and 16 rebounds from none other than Blake Poole. Hey, fun fact about that game, the brother of Loggers' current head coach Aubrey Shelton, Caleb Shelton, was a member of that Loggers team. In fact, Aubrey also an alumnus of the University of Puget Sound. He played his college basketball at Puget Sound, was a longtime high school coach of the Tacoma area, mostly at Lincoln, where he was the head coach of the Abes for about a decade or so before being hired as the head coach at Puget Sound. The battle for South Sound supremacy, Austin, right here. Who you got?
I'm going to have to go ahead and take the Saints. I think their guard play, you know, missing a guy like Paul Johnson at 20 points a game, that's going to be hard to overcome. But Puget Sound already getting attacked down low, Marky Adams.
Brett Reed rips down the offensive glass. Saints in the traditional home whites, Loggers in the road grays. Moving right to left on your radio dial. Skinny skips off the high screen, now steps around a defender. A 1-foot floater from the free throw line will go after Brett Reed earns the extra possession for the Saints. Nielsen Skinner able to cash it in.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Brett Reed right there. That was a lot of work to go get that board, and he doesn't have an easy job. Loggers, again, +7 on the boards. Really good rebounding team.
Will Matthews unable to find the bottom on that three-point hoist. Saints bring it the other way. Just underway inside Marcus Pavilion. So glad to have everybody, Logger fan or Saints fan, here with us on the broadcast. Reed spins through the chest of Grant Erickson. That one rattles around for a moment, but eventually falls through the cylinder, in the Saints with the first 4 points of tonight's game.
Yeah, and you know Reed wants to get back to the level of productivity he had in California, where he averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds. You know he wants to get a quick start.
Grant Erickson along the baseline. They find a gap in that Saints 2-3 zone. Erickson just unable to finish. It rolls off the back heel, and back comes Alex Schumacher for the Saints. Rolls off the high screen, accelerates down the lane, and gets all the way to the rack, and already the Saints lead it by half a dozen.
On a pick and roll like that, if the big doesn't come off of Adams and immediately slug down, Schumacher has the green light to go right to the rack.
Hansen, one dribble to his left, raises from 13. The mid-range jumper won't fall, and the Saints cover up. Back they bring it the other way. Schumacher guarded by C.J. Gethers. Now Greeley gets a touch. Swinging around into the hands of Nielsen Skinner. Reverse it back to Greeley. He'll try for three. That one a little strong. Adams after it, but the rebound tapped into the hands of C.J. Gethers. Saints come out in that 2-3 zone. Marky Adams clogging the paint down low. Taj Phillips flips it back to Hansen, gets it back. Looks inside, nothing doing. 15 on the shot clock. Into the high post for Hansen. One right-hand dribble. Now throws a pass directly into the hands of Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Splits the two defenders. Races the other way. Gets all the way to the rack. Lays it up and in. And the first 8 points of tonight's game through 2.5 minutes, all in favor of St. Martin's, and Aubrey Shelton needs a quick timeout.
right there on the zone. They didn't freak out right when that ball got in the middle of the zone. They stayed wide, and that allows them to get into the passing lanes. Great start for the Saints here. 8-0 run. You know exactly what St. Martin's wanted coming into this match. You know, you never want to see a slow start. You never want to see your guys kind of maybe taking one easy. Saints, they're locked in right away. You knew Aaron Lanham was going to have his team ready to go.
Loggers coming off a victory Saturday over George Fox up at their place in Tacoma. They won that one 67-62. Saints coming off again that just absolutely gargantuan victory against Alaska on Saturday. The second half of that game, we talked about in the pregame, and boy, Austin, they are picking up right where they left off. That last 20 minutes of that game, they were absolutely scintillating, doing it all over again here tonight so far.
Yeah, if the Saints are able to play at a level like that, West Region is definitely within, the end game here for the Saints.
Nielsen Skinner with back-to-back transition hoops at the rim. Quickly a 10-0 run after Cal Hansen couldn't handle the pass in the high post for the Loggers. Taj Phillips, guarded closely by Schumacher, finds Gethers alone beneath the basket, bounces a pass back into the hands of Erickson. Now it's Hansen in the high post. Skips to his left, kicks to the corner. Erickson drives, spins, picks up his dribble. Now Taj Phillips with it. Will Matthews on the drive. Gets bumped by Schumacher. Shot won't fall, but he'll head to the line. No, they're going to call that ball out of bounds. The foul committed. I believe it's out of bounds. Referee was pointing toward the baseline, and yes, it will be Loggers basketball with 20 seconds on the shot clock. A couple of subs make their way to the floor for St. Martin's. Musi Teklemariam out there for the first time, as is Charlie DeBoer. Inbounds comes to Erickson. Matthews circles back up top where he's picked up by Nielsen Skinner. Into the high post for Teklemariam. Taj Phillips bluffs one way, goes the other, rolls off a Teklemariam screen. And it's an offensive foul, a moving screen whistled against Musi Teklemariam. It's our first foul of the contest, and it comes about 3.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Loggers are getting the ball right in the middle of that zone. That's where you want to go, but they're having no one cut to the basket, no one making any other movements, and so right when that ball gets in there, the zone defense is just sitting right in the passing lanes and forcing that ball back out.
They pick up a little pressure in backcourt here, disrupts the Saints' flow for a moment. Schumacher able to skip across the timeline where he's picked up by Teklemariam in between the circles. Schumacher calls out the play, drifts to his left here on the near side wing. A whistle and a foul called away from the ball. This one beneath the basket. Looks like it's going against Will Matthews, so his first. And second called on the Loggers. Imani Mitchell makes his way to the floor. He'll spell Matthews, who takes a seat. Inbound comes out to Brett Reed. Couple of lefty dribbles, hands it off for Greeley. Hesitates, then accelerates and dumps it off for Adams down in the low blocks. Waits for the clear out. Spins off the defender. It's not a lot of contact there, but the whistle blows all the same, and Marky Adams will head to the line. Grant Erickson catching a little bit too much of Adams' chest, and the 6'9" post from Florks will make his way to the free throw line.
Yeah, Saints talked a lot about at the beginning of the year, how are they going to work with Marky Adams and Brett Reed on the floor at the same time? And, for the last few games, they've been in the starting lineup together. And what they're doing a lot of is when one is down in the paint, one's outside trying to distract, get away. And what that is allowing the Saints to do is so much focus is then right there on Marky Adams that Brett Reed is able to dance around. And as a post player, you're trying to find out where is Reed, because he might be the best rebounder on the floor. Where's he at, while also trying to guard Marky Adams? That's a very tough thing to do. And the Saints right now, I like how they're using the two bigs on the floor at the same time.
4 minutes into the game, and the Saints still with all 12 points. Here's a three from DeMoore. That one misses everything. The weak side rebound corralled by Brett Reed. And Schumacher will set the offense for the Saints. 12-0 our score. Into the high post for Reed. He's hawked there. Double team collapses on him, but then leave Marky Adams alone just long enough, and he does the rest. Raises with both hands and packs it for the two-handed punch.
I'll go ahead and add another one to the Marky Adams highlight reel, picking up right where he left off in the second half.
Yeah, 3 dunks the other night, all coming in the second half. Great no-look pass from Imani Mitchell. Sets up Grant Erickson down low, and then Loggers are on the board. 14-2 Saints. That was how you break things down if you're a Loggers fan.
Absolutely. They got the cut into the paint at the right time. The pass came from the top high post. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a Loggers fan.
Adams goes to work once again, but unable to finish near the rim. Loggers back in action. Erickson in the high post, ball above his head. Kicks to the corner for DeBoer. Taj Phillips comes to get it. He'll try for three. Leaves it short. Adams bats it into the hands of Greeley. He'll bring it the other way. Goes right at Imani Mitchell. Gets right into his chest. Musi Teklemariam able to come away with it. And here comes Taj Phillips. Now Teklemariam for three. High arcing shot. Won't go. Two Saints after it. And Reed covers up. 5.5 minutes gone by. Schumacher controls things for the Saints. Rolls off the screen. Drifts to his right. Into the high post for Adams. Kicks to the corner. Greeley for three. Little too strong. Teklemariam the weak side board.
Well, now the Loggers switching up their defense too on Adams. When he gets that ball, that guard is coming in on the backside to try and rip it away.
Back-to-back buckets for the Loggers. And Erickson able to connect again as it goes high off the glass. So the local product, Grant Erickson, has all four of the Loggers' points. Schumacher gets past Mitchell. Leaves it for Reed. Tries the baseline. Reverses. That shot bothered by Teklemariam. Both of them after it. It will stay with the Saints when we return. 13:43 left here in the first half, and the Saints lead it by 10.
All right, and welcome back into the Saints Digital Network. And there's another highlight dunk for Marky Adams. You see just right there in the paint. Defense loses track of him. And a great job by the Saints to find the big man immediately, get the ball down low. Again, what we talked about in the pregame show, unselfish basketball in that second half. We're seeing it again here to start tonight's game.
14-4 our score in the very early goings. It will be Nielsen Skinner to trigger the inbound for the Saints. Flips it over the top for Tyke Thompson, who's fresh on the floor for St. Martin's, as is Christian Hafner, who gets a touch there. We're also getting our first look at Champ Spencer. So a bunch of fresh bodies on the deck for St. Martin's. Shot clock winding down. Nielsen Skinner skips into the paint, has it taken away. I think it rolled off of him, and it did. Quick hands there from C.J. Gethers. And the Loggers turn the Saints over. So certainly was all St. Martin's in the early goings as they raced out to a 14-0 lead. Well, the Loggers starting to compose and find themselves a little. Here's Donovan Wilson. He's on the deck for the first time tonight for the Loggers. Hansen looks inside for Teklemariam. His pass a little bit too long. Tried to lead him to it, but it was just a little too deep. It falls harmlessly on the baseline and gives it back to St. Martin's. Little pressure in backcourt applied by the Loggers once again.
Yeah, classic 1-2-2 zone defense.
Now Nielsen Skinner nearly stepped into a three, instead kicks to Thompson, who passes it over to Champ Spencer, who raises for three in front of the Loggers bench and connects. So the first shot from distance is on the board for the Saints, and they lead it 17-4 after the long cast from Champ Spencer.
Well, again, this St. Martin's team, they brought in a lot of new pieces. Champ Spencer starting to get more and more minutes on the floor. Had a very, very respectable high school career. It's another level, though, when you come up to D2. It's kind of taking him some time to earn those minutes, but, hey, he's coming on the floor and now making an impact for the Saints. And that's what games like this are a great opportunity for. I'm sure you'll see on both sides a lot of tapping into the bench, kind of giving some guys some extra opportunities here.
Will Matthews makes his way back out for the Loggers. Kick to the corner for Teklemariam. Will try a three in front of the Saints bench and knock that one down. Musi Teklemariam doesn't try a lot of shots from outside, but has already attempted two, and he just banged that one home. and it cuts the lead back to 10. Oh, look, pass to the corner. Spencer again for 3. That one off the back heel, and Teclamarium comes away with the rebound. Donovan Wilson races out. Geathers on the drive. Bodied by Hafner, and he bangs into Geathers midair, so that will send C.J. Geathers to the line. You see the Loggers trying to push tempo just a little bit more now, kind of moving without the ball a little more quickly as well.
Yeah, I think the Loggers are definitely picking up a lot of confidence. And for me, that change really came when Teclamarium came onto the floor. He's given him some length. He's rebounding. He's playing defense well. And ever since he's come onto the floor, if I'm not mistaken, it's been an 8-3 turn of events for the Loggers. So, again, they're starting to find their rhythm here. Now they're starting to play a little more confident, get out more in fast pace. And the Saints have gone away from that zone defense as well.
C.J. Geathers from Tumwater connects on both free throws. And the lead down to 8 at 17-9. More pressure in backcourt. Schumacher clears the timeline, but he's trapped on the wing. Able to get it into the hands of Thompson. Now Hafner for 3 in front of the Loggers bench, and he buries it. Christian Hafner gets into the scoring ledger. Knocks home a 3 of his own, and it's back to 20-9 Saints.
Yeah, if you're going to run a 1-2-2 zone, if you don't get that trap immediately, you got to come away with that defensive rotation.
Speaking of coming away with it, Schumacher rips the ball away, takes it the other way, finds Christian Hafner in transition. Back-to-back threes for Hafner, and just like that, the lead back to 14 at 23-9.
What a weapon off the bench Hafner has been. I mean, he comes in, he's just consistent. He takes great shots. He's not forcing anything. What an addition to the program he's been.
And we're also getting our first look at Velcho Ilic here tonight. He's on the floor. I hadn't even noticed that Ilic was out there this evening. He tangles with Matthews beneath the basket and draws a foul.
Yeah, Ilic, I mean, we'll talk more about him after the break. He had a really good JC playing career. He's another weapon the Saints really haven't used too much this year. We'll get to see some action from him after the break.
23-9 our score. You are dialed in for St. Martin's basketball on the St. Martin's Digital Network.
And welcome back into the Saints Digital Network. And Christian Hafner right here, another wide open 3, and he's going to knock that down 9 times out of 10. What a weapon he has been. And man, it's fun watching him play.
He comes to get the inbounds here. Looks inside for Ilic. Backs down Cal Hansen. Turns. Fades away from 8 feet. Shot will fall. Velko Ilic with his first points as a Saint, if I'm not mistaken. This is our first look at him. He has logged a few DNPs in his game so far here in Marcus Pavilion. The other way, it's Hansen along the baseline, but his pass skips off the foot of Teclamarium, and here's the Saints in transition. Hafner, another 3! Christian Hafner has knocked down all 3 three-pointers that he's attempted so far here in this game, and all of a sudden a 19-point lead for the Saints. In transition the other way, the Loggers settle into it. And Cal Hansen connects from the elbow. 28-11 as we near the halfway point.
Yeah, you want to be a run-and-gun three-point shooter like Hafner. He did it perfectly on the transition. He starts in, last second, cuts out. Shu knows he's going to have that. Wide open three-point shot. Again, Hafner, you can go ahead and just put it on the board before he even releases. If he gets room like that, it's in.
Well, and seeing Christian Hafner spotting up for three makes me really wish that Paul Johnson was, in fact, available for this Loggers team here tonight. He's a 42% shooter from three. He can really stroke it, averaging 21 a game, and just one of the most best, pure shooters you'll see at basically any level of college basketball. He is basically the Loggers version of Christian Hafner, except a more prolific scorer because he's the focal point of their offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing about being the number one, and also the great thing about Hafner, he's got weapons all over the floor. You can't just solo up Christian. You have to watch constantly as that one just rims out. That was a heat check right there.
He's
but there's
human
Illich,
after all.
Coming up with a big rebound. Again, the Saints have a lot of weapons on the floor, and Hafner is able to find the soft spot in the zone. It's a great fit for both.
Schumacher thinks about a three. 6 on the shot clock as he goes to work. Skips down the right side. Tries to hand it off inside, but his pass taken away. And here comes Charlie DeMoore on the run out. Gets it back in the corner. Now tries the baseline. Challenges Illich at the apex. Teclamarian can't handle the board. And here comes Schumacher the other way. Kicks back to Hafner. He'll try for three. That one just does rattle out. Strong rebound for Grant Erickson. Taj Phillips now with it. Circles back, now hands it back to Teclamarian. He'll try for three here on the near side wing. That one no good. Champ Spencer the board.
Yeah, Saints right now, real quick pace. I think a nice job by Schumacher here. Slow the game back down. You have a media timeout coming up shortly. Guys are getting a little bit gassed. Kind of find your legs here in this one.
Tyke Thompson down low. Guarded there by Erickson. Spencer flashes free at the high post. His 15-footer won't fall. And Taj Phillips brings it back the other way. Crosses up on Tyke Thompson. Hansen finds Erickson in the high post. Starts his drive, cut off there. Now it's Hansen along the baseline. 14 on the shot clock for the Loggers. Now Phillips on the drive. Spins around Hafner. Good-looking shot. Everything but the finish. Tough break for Taj Phillips and the Loggers on that possession. They did everything right, just couldn't connect at the end of their possession. Spencer with it. Now back to Schumacher. Long three. Cast from Schumacher, and he bangs it home. And the Saints lead now swells to 20 at 31-11. That was a seriously long three-point cast from Alex Schumacher. Cal Hansen in the high post. He gets around his defender. Draws a little contact. It's enough to send him to the line once we return. But look at this. The Saints lead now sits at an even 20 points. 7:22 left here in the first half. (31-11) our score, 7:22 left here in the first half. And we talked about how Marky Adams was picking up right where he left off with that two-handed flush a little bit earlier. How about Christian Hafner picking up right where he left off? He was one of the guys who really got it going in the second frame for the Saints. And then he comes out on the court, Austin, and knocks down his first threes of the game.
Yeah, against Alaska, Markey opened up the inside with those dunks, and that forced Alaska to kind of collapse in, and then Christian Hafner was able to feast on that and start hitting shots from the outside. And what that did was it was a cascading effect. It started opening up other lanes for guys like Schumacher and Greeley to get their points, and Nielsen Skinner. So again, the Saints, you have to be a well-balanced offense. And when you got guys like Brett Reed and Marky Adams to do the damage down low, it can really make the job of a Christian Hafner or an Alex Schumacher easier. It kind of gives them that more one-on-one approach on the outside.
It is a new-look squad for the Saints as we are back underway. 4 fresh bodies on the floor for St. Martin's, including Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, who handles back at the point again. Goy Wang on the floor for the first time here tonight. He handles here. Reed comes out to set the screen, but he reverses it into the hands of Greeley, who's also back on the floor for the Saints. Now Reed, shot clock under 10. Goy Wang will trigger a long 3, and he got it. How about Goy Wang stepping right onto the floor, sizes up a 3, knocks it down, and the lead back to up over 20 at 34-13.
Yeah, Goy Wang has always been a defensive specialist for the Saints. Being able to come off the bench and hit a 3, that's huge.
No-look pass inside from Nielsen-Skinner, setting up his old teammate at Portland State, Kyle Greeley, and he does the rest, goes glass to knock it home. Beautiful look inside from Nielsen-Skinner on that play.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time, and here's another one now for the Saints. Thompson with the steal, hand off Greeley, and the Saints will reset the offense.
Skinny on the drive. Looks like he may have just lost it himself out of bounds. Referee sees it differently. Someone able to reach in, poke that away from Nielsen-Skinner, so it stays at the Saints end with 22 on the shot clock. 23-point lead for St. Martin's. Now Ty Thompson for 3. Weak side rebound. Brett Reed in the right spot. Can't get that. Gets another putback opportunity. That won't fall, but he's fouled and he'll head to the line. Strong play down low from Brett Reed.
I mean, he's just doing what he does best, right? Offensive rebounds, fighting down low. I think that's probably Brett Reed's biggest plus about him is his ability, even if he's in a, not the greatest offensive rebounding position, he will fight to get to there. And it really reminds me a lot of what we see on the women's side as well with Claire Dingus. I mean, any missed ball, the Saints have an opportunity at an offensive rebound with a guy like Brett Reed on the floor.
A little bit strong with the first of 2 free throws as Teclamariam makes his way back to the floor, replacing Will Matthews. The 5 on the floor for the Saints: Tyke Thompson, Goy Wang, Kyle Greeley, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, and Brett Reed, who is able to connect on the second of those 2 free throws and push the lead out to its largest of the night at 24, 37-13 exactly, 6 minutes to play. Imani Mitchell handles here, guarded by Kyle Greeley. Flips a pass into the hands of Grant Erickson. Now Phillips comes to get it. He'll raise from 17. That one rolls out. Goy Wang the rebound for St. Martin's. Nielsen-Skinner, a no-look pass to the corner for Thompson. He'll try for 3 and crush it. Tyke Thompson in on the act, and all of a sudden, the Saints are running away at 40-13. Another no-look pass from Nielsen-Skinner. This one in transition, cross court, and Thompson knocks down the 3.
And that's why you run to your spot in transition. It was Brett Reed sprinting down the floor right in the middle.
Yeah, might get another one here, and we will. Thompson again! Another no-look pass cross court from Nielsen-Skinner. And just like that, a 30-point lead for the Saints. Nielsen-Skinner really starting to just own Marcus Pavilion. He was amazing. I mean, amazing. Setting dudes up, distributing the ball perfectly in the final 20 minutes of the game on Saturday. Doing it again. Everybody picking up right where they left off.
Well, the Saints are getting to their spots in transition. I was starting to say before, Nielsen-Skinner had to interrupt me there with another beautiful pass, Brett Reed's just getting down the floor, and what that does is it draws the defense in. Tyke Thompson floats out to the outside. He hits right there. He goes, you know what? It's working again. Let me go to that same spot. Bam, another 3. And so, St. Martin's, really, they are clicking right now.
Not even 15 minutes have gone by in this game. 10 different Saints have seen the floor in Austin. All 10 of them already have scored for St. Martin's.
Unselfish basketball. Goes right back to that point.
Teclamariam tries to leave it inside for Jack Bailey. Unable to corral the pass, and the turnover gives it right back to St. Martin's. Now the Loggers, remember, playing very short-handed tonight. 4 different players, basically their best shooters, all of them unavailable, including their leading scorer, Paul Johnson. So this is a very short-handed Loggers team. And it's kind of starting to show here a bit as the Saints are just pouring it on. It's not so much that the Loggers are playing poorly. It's just that the Saints are just playing completely out of their minds.
Yeah, I mean, they're right on fire right from their second half against Alaska. And there's Brett Reed, another spin move. That one knocked away. But for me, the Loggers, they just don't have the outside shooting right now. It's allowing the Saints defense to sit inside and camp. But there's some offense right there making it work in transition.
Yeah, beautiful hesitation move from Mitchell. Able to complete things after the blue by. Grant Erickson rips the rebound away from Brett Reed. You don't see that very often, but Grant Erickson, no slouch himself down low. And here comes Mitchell again. Flips the pass into the hands of Jack Bailey. Creates some space, hands it off inside, sets up Teclamarian, but he's unable to finish. That shot bothered by Reed. Quick outlet ahead for Thompson. He'll try for three again and knock it down. 3 threes for Tyke Thompson to go along with the 3 threes for Christian Hafner, and the Saints are absolutely unconscious right now.
I said it last week. When Thompson is clicking, I feel like that's when the Saints are at their best, and he can stretch the floor. He's such a nightmare on the matchup end. He can get down low, and when he's hitting shots like that, you know it's going to be a good night if you're a Saints fan.
Teclamarian challenges Kyle Greeley. Contact as he gets toward the blocks. It will be Loggers basketball out of bounds once we return. 3:44 left to go here in the first half, and the Saints running away at 46-15. So the Saints just doing it all so far in this contest. They are shooting it well, 51% from the field, 60% from three. They're plus 11 on the glass. They've got just 2 turnovers in this game. Here's the 2 stats of the game for me, though, so far, Austin. I mentioned it before the break. All 10 players have scored, but not a single one of them is in double figures yet. That's that unselfish basketball that you were talking about and have been talking about all night long.
Yeah, the Saints have a lot of weapons on the floor at any given time. No matter what lineup they roll out there, it's not a stagnant offense. And again, they're doing what they do best. They're meshing together. They're finding new ways to score. Or just hand it to Christian Hafner.
Exactly. They're just reinventing the wheel. Christian Hafner with his 4th three. And well, now a Saint is in double figures. Those 4 threes give Hafner a dozen on the night. Erickson double team near the baseline. Tries to dribble out of it between 2 defenders. Can't do it. Skips a pass into the hands of DeBoer. He's cut off along the baseline. Back to Erickson down low. Spins off the defender. Shot won't go. Champs bench of the rebound for St. Martin's. 49-15. 3 minutes to play. Schumacher resets things. And now Marcus Linker fresh on the floor for the Saints. And the steal attempt from Donovan Wilson. Couldn't quite keep it in bounds, so it will stay with the Saints with 15 on the shot clock. Schumacher finds Hafner. Got to account for him at this point. He is smoking, just scalding, smoldering hot. Schumacher between the circles, drifts to his left, guarded by Mitchell. Crosses over, flips back for Hafner. Long 3 on the way. That one was nearly down. Linker the offensive rebound. He gets it back. He'll try for 3. That one no good. Teclamarian has it taken away from behind by Linker. Here comes Hafner the other way. Thinks about pulling up, now drives. Kicks back outside for Schumacher. Bluffs one way, goes to his right, flips a shot up. That one won't fall, off balance. And Teclamarian the rebound for Puget Sound.
Game really starting to pick up speed here down the stretch. I think both teams just kind of, obviously the scoreboard's there now, kind of just trying to find different looks, and it's Marcus Linker coming off the bench and playing some defense.
Back-to-back steals for Marcus Linker. How about that? That is good stuff. Doesn't get a lot of minutes, but he's making the most of them. Here's Spencer for three. Too strong, rebound Wilson.
Yeah, Linker, I can't tell you how many times I've walked through this gym. Any hour of the day, he's going to be in here getting shots up, working on things. He's a total gym rat. That term's thrown around a lot, but Marcus Linker embodies that completely. He's such a nice guy. Really, he embodies what the St. Martin's basketball program is to me. All around, what an amazing student athlete.
Great possession for the Loggers a moment ago. Hansen bottled up along the baseline. Teclamarium flashes free in the paint, and he finishes at the rim. Hafner kicks it back outside for Schumacher. Under 10 on the shot clock. Adams comes out to set the screen. Schumacher pulls up with the shot clock expiring and drains a three. The Saints can do no wrong. 52-17, under a minute to play. Wilson, a quick pass to the corner. DeBoer tries for three. That one rattles off. Schumacher there to clear it. Brings it the other way. Kicks for Marcus Linker. He'll try for three. Leaves it short. Rebound Teclamarium.
Marcus is going to get a couple more attempts in the second half as well.
Donovan Wilson can't connect. The leader in transition won't fall. And the Saints, with the shot clock off, can hold for the final possession. And it looks like they will.
I'd like to see Marky Adams get a touch here. He's been doing so much work down low. Now they're going to bring him out to set the pick. Watch for the roll here.
Everything had flattened out for a moment, but then a couple of Saints come out. Now here's Linker down low. Clock winding down. Will they get a shot off? Here's Mitchell from 30 feet. Leaves it a little short, and that'll do it for our first 20 minutes of play. Man, oh man, the Saints looking so good here in the first half of this game. They lead it 52-17. Folks, we'll take an extended break here on the broadcast, but please rejoin us with about 3 minutes left on screen on the halftime clock for a look at first half stats and a look ahead to second half action. We will rejoin the broadcast at about 12 minutes time on the St. Martin's Digital Network. And welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion for the St. Martin's men's basketball halftime show. Jeff Lucero alongside Austin Burns. And Austin, right out of the chute, I would ask you what stood out to you in the first half, but given the fact that the Saints played near flawless basketball for the game's first 20 minutes, I think I'm just going to ask you, what didn't stand out to you in the first half? Did the Saints do a single thing that you can fault them for through those first 20 minutes of play?
No, I mean, I'm sure when you ask head coach Aaron Landon, he's going to find something.
No problem. I'm asking you. If I ask him, he'll be like, okay, here's 1, 2, 3, and 4 things we didn't do.
And that's why he's the coach. And, you can always get better. But for me, St. Martin's was clicking on all cylinders. I was a little worried maybe coming into tonight that the Saints would need a few minutes to kind of get the gas going. They didn't need anything. They were red hot, and there was nobody hotter than Christian Hafner.
True.
I mean, wow. He's a plug-and-play. He just comes out off the bench. You see there 12 points, 4 3-pointers. What he does for the Saints is, you need a guy who's going to come in and go, this is my one job. And for Christian, that is get to the corner and shoot threes. And he just punishes defense. It opens up a lot of other lanes for other guys, so they can be more crafty in the lane. I mean, all in all, it was, exactly how you wanted it to go if you're a St. Martin's fan. And it's fun to watch. I mean, this team, they can put a lot of points up in a hurry. But for me, 17 points allowed. Wow, what a good start defensively as well.
Yeah, for the Saints, they do wind up scoring 52 points in the first half on 47% shooting from the floor. 52%, that number goes up to 52% from beyond the three-point arc. They also connected on 3 out of 4 free throws. The Saints, for the first half, were plus 11 on the glass, out rebounding Puget Sound 25-14. They had 12 assists on those 19 made baskets. Such a great percentage there. 8 steals in the first half as well for St. Martin's. They only had 3 turnovers. Nobody in foul trouble. Nobody has more than just 1 foul for the Saints. Really and truly, just about a flawless first half of basketball. 11 players on the floor. All but one of them, Marcus Linker, scored. Linker only saw 4 minutes on the court, and while he was out there, he still got a team-leading 3 steals in those 4 minutes. So really and truly, 1 through 11, every single dude for St. Martin's contributing in that first half.
Yeah, I think my story tonight's going to be a pretty easy start here. It's going to be team effort. This was an all-around team effort here in the first half. We still have 20 minutes here to go for sure, and anything can happen. Don't want to write this game off by any means. Puget Sound, they really started to find their rhythm in the second half. For that quick stretch, they were starting to move the ball more freely and really tried to get out into transition. But Saints buckled back down. They made some adjustments defensively. Let's see what the Loggers can do here out of the timeout. Again, it's an exhibition game for them, so they're trying out probably some stuff that they normally wouldn't.
They turn it over on their first possession. Active hands, and the Saints on the run out. UPS able to get back on D, so Schumacher redirects the offense back toward the top. Nielsen Skinner guarded by Phillips. Here's Reed in the high post. Spins, now steps back into a 13-foot cast. That one won't fall. Adams after the rebound. The whistle blows. No indication yet, but looks like it will stay with the Saints. Foul whistle beneath the basket on Grant Erickson, one of 2 local products on this Puget Sound team. Both of them on the floor right now. Once again, Grant Erickson played at Capital in Olympia. C.J. Geathers played at Tumwater in, Tumwater. On the run out, this is C.J. Geathers. He gets all the way to the rack, leaves it short, and Brett Reed covers up for the Saints. A quick outlet into the hands of Nielsen Skinner. Thinks about pulling up for 3, kicks a no-look pass to Greeley. They reverse it back to Nielsen Skinner. He'll try for 3. Leaves it short. Reed the offensive rebound over Cal Hansen. Schumacher will reset things between the circles. Drifts to his right. Finds Adams down low. Backs down on Hansen. Pump fake, puts up a shot, no good. Hansen the rebound for the Loggers. A one-handed pass ahead to Taj Phillips.
Yeah, and that's Hansen's first rebound. I mean, this is a guy averaging nearly a double-double, and that's his first rebound of the game, but Marky Adams sends that one back. Saints have done a great job taking away, the double-double machine in Hansen.
Hansen's lefty cast from 11 feet near the baseline won't fall. Adams the rebound. Schumacher bluffs it a three, now drives, gets into the chest of Cal Hansen, lays it up and in. A lot of contact midair, no call. Schumacher still able to finish. He's such a spectacular athlete, Alex Schumacher.
Yeah, when his best is when he's locked in defensively and he makes those great strong cuts to the basket. You know, Schu can do so many things for the Saints. He can shoot outside, he can be a ball handler, but for me, when he's rolling, it's getting to that rack.
Brett Reed, an offensive rebound. No-look pass inside. Sets up Marky Adams for another punishing two-handed flush.
More unselfish basketball. Simple as that. Well, you love to see it. These guys are really, really playing well together right now.
Nice pass down low from Hansen to C.J. Geathers. He can't finish, but he takes the rebound away from Marky Adams. Now Cal Hansen with the leaner inside. Able to cash that home, and the Saints will call a quick timeout just to perhaps let everybody catch their breath here for just a moment. This one will stretch to a full timeout, so we will take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. (56-19) our score inside Marcus Pavilion. And Austin, I'm here to tell you that little kid that was dancing just now could not be older than 3 years old, and already he's got more moves than you on a basketball court.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody wants to see him on a basketball court. That guy's stealing the show here.
Loggers pick up pressure in backcourt. Schumacher able to clear the timeline. Let's go a pass as he stumbles to the floor. Into the hands of Thompson. He finds Kyle Greeley flashing open at the top of the paint, and he knocks home the 14-footer. The Saints lead up to 39 at 58-19.
And just one of those nights where no matter what the Loggers throw, they throw some pressure now at the Saints. Saints able to break it, come up the floor, get an easy basket in the middle of the lane.
Well, you got to admire the grit and determination of Grant Erickson. That's the second time he's challenged Adams inside. The second time he had a shot thrown right back in his face. That time, able to get Adams in the air. Just couldn't finish at the basket. But Loggers ain't giving up there. This is a young, experienced but young, scrappy team. They're going to keep fighting with all they got. Things not breaking their way at all so far this evening as Schumacher scoops a pass across the floor to the hands of Tyke Thompson. The Loggers going to continue to show out here with a lot of guts. Here's Thompson for three. Rattles out, is halfway down. Adams steps inside. It's blocked by Cal Hansen midair. Adams had some bad intentions as he approached the rim. And Hansen able to reach inside and poke it free, but he does draw the foul. That's just the first on Hansen for the game. Look at Adams leaning in. He took off from outside the paint, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Markey showing off that athleticism. Hey, we saw one. It really reminds me of a dunk last year. Fortunately, no fans were here to see it. Markey just caught the ball on the far block, did a spin move, and I think he took off while he was spinning, in all honesty, and he just flew across the paint right there. Markey, the moment he got that rebound, he knew where he was going.
That's not the one I thought you were going to bring up. I thought you were going to talk about when he took off from just inside the free throw line a couple years ago.
Oh, that
one was spectacular. And he raises for the block, erasing the shot from Will Matthews. Ball batted around for a moment, eventually rolls out of bounds, and it will go over to the Saints, but not after Marky Adams with another big-time rebuke, this time at the expense of Will Matthews.
I mean, you go back a couple years, the Saints, when they won the GNAC regular season title. They had a great shot blocker in Jordan Kitchen. He was the defensive player of the year in the GNAC. He could do so much for the Saints with that length, and he was incredibly smart. Knew when it came over. Markey's he's got the height, he's got the length. He can just do it all down low. Different kind of shot blocker, but really gets it done for the Saints.
Good box out from Grant Erickson, keeping Adams off the glass. Here come the Loggers the other way. No look pass from Phillips, taken away inside by Hafner. Quickly ahead for Skinny. Bobs around the defender, but Tosh Phillips stays with them for a moment, but is in fact whistled for the foul. And that will bring us to a stoppage in play. 58-19, all Saints here at Marcus Pavilion so far tonight.
And welcome back into the Saints Digital Network. Offense has been flowing tonight, but let's not forget about the defense. Look at Marky Adams in position, one-handed block, gets up there. Saints 19 points allowed in just over 24 minutes of action. I mean, again, this offense has been flowing, but I think the defense, that's going to be the thing head coach Aaron Landon's most excited about to talk about on the post-game broadcast with you, Jeff.
I'm looking forward to this chat for sure. Nielsen Skinner skips down the right side of the paint, now backs it out. 15 on the shot clock. Nielsen Skinner recalibrates between the circles. Skips to his left. Picks up his dribble. Finds Thompson streaking back across the top of the arc. His three no good. Grant Erickson hauls down the glass for the Loggers. Donovan Wilson brings it their way. Bounces a pass down low. They find the cutter to the basket. It's Erickson, but he pinballs around beneath the basket. Couldn't get a shot off. Now Greeley steps back over the baseline, grabs the loose ball, brings it the other way. The kick to Hafner in the corner, resets for three. It's off the back heel, but Adams there for the offensive rebound, and the Saints will reload.
Oh, you like to see get Marky Adams there a touch. He just got the offensive board. Try and get that ball down low to him. Get him another look.
Skinny, 7 on the shot clock, hesitates, now pulls up from 17. That one rolls out. Erickson, another rebound for the Loggers. Donovan Wilson veers the other way. Gets around one defender, leaves it inside for Teclamarian, but it bounces off his chest back into the hands of Donovan Wilson. So he'll circle back up top. Imani Mitchell into the high post for Teclamarian, starts his drive, gets around Adams, leaves the shot short, and Adams covers up for the Saints. Loggers have looked just a little bit too tentative once they've beaten their defender tonight. It's almost like they're a little unsure of themselves once they actually have position and a good look at the basket, and it's cost them throughout several crucial points of this game.
Yeah, I think you'd like to see, Marky Adams just finishing at the rim once again. Nice job by Skinny on the roll to see it too.
That is just silly business from Nielsen Skinner, flipping a pass over the basket. The lob still working out for Adams. Couldn't quite flush it there, but still able to knock it home. And now the Saints lead over 40 at 60-19. Pass to the corner, sets up Matthews for three, and he drains it in front of his own bench.
Well, there you go, Jeff. What you were just talking about. Gets an open look, takes it immediately, pays off. That's exactly what you want to see for the Loggers. Just find more of that confidence here in the second half.
Hafner gets it back from Adams. He's cut off on his drive. Saints reverse everything back up top. Nielsen Skinner will try for three. Looks good, and it is Jaden Nielsen Skinner finding the stroke from deep. And lead back to 41 at 63-22.
Yeah, and Saints now defensively, you see this one down low in Adams, and then they'll bring everyone else out, bring in some pressure on the ball handler. And that's exactly what they want to force. That ball handler backs into the corner. They're able to bring the double team, and what your only option out of that one is either try and split the defenders, or you're going to make a pass, and you already had a ball hawk waiting in that passing lane. That was a good defensive adjustment by the Saints.
Fresh bodies on the floor for either team. For the Saints, Velko Illich back in there, as is Brett Reed. For the Loggers, C.J. Gethers, Cal Hansen, and Charlie DeBoer back on the floor. Schumacher bounces a pass to Hafner. One dribble, they look down low for Reed. Goes to work on DeBoer right away. Flips up a shot. Little finger roll as he leans in and angles toward the glass. It won't fall, but the foul called right away on Charlie DeBoer. That's his first. And the fourth foul on the Loggers here in the second half. 12:58 to play. Saints by 41.
Yeah, not the only action here for the Saints this weekend. You know, you get another local rival coming in on Saturday. That's going to be fun. Doubleheader basketball, you know, starting.
The Capital Classic, Austin.
Yes, absolutely. The Gooey Ducks, Evergreen State coming in. Men's and women's action on Saturday. That's going to be another fun one. And get to see the Saints women's basketball team back in action, you know. Unfortunately, only got to see them once last week as their game on Saturday was canceled. So they got a whole week in between games.
Well, so if there is a weakness in Brett Reed's game, I think it was on display a moment ago. Brett Reed comes in tonight shooting just 38% at the foul line and could not connect on either of those two foul shots just now. As impressive as Brett Reed has been in the first few games of his career here at St. Martin's, he really does struggle at the foul line.
Yeah, and he's going to get fouled
a lot.
lot.
There, though.
But there's a steal. I mean, he does so many things right, you know, and it's one of those where every player always is going to have a little bit of a weakness. For Brett, it's at the free throw line. But you know what? I can live with that if he's putting 20 and 10 up with a couple steals. It's one of those where you hope by the end of the year he's able to get, you know, a few more percentage points on there. Because the last thing you want is that they have to have Brett on the bench at the end of the game.
6 seconds on the shot clock for Schumacher as he pulls up from distance and crushes it. Alex Schumacher buries the three. And the Saints tripling up on the Loggers at 66-22. About 12 minutes left. The other way is Cal Hansen, a little strong from 10 feet. Illich there for the rebound. And the Saints can run their stuff at the other end. Schumacher, what a move! Gets all the way to the rack. Blows past Tekla Merriam. He is just so athletic and explosive in the open floor. You give him a step, he will take a mile. Alex Schumacher, what a stud.
His first step is one of the best I've seen at the Division II level. I mean, there's a couple players, but look at that pass all the way out. Pushing the tempo, the finish. Oh, my goodness. That's going to get the bench up, clapping. This is fun basketball if you're a Saints fan right now. Wow.
Schumacher just laces the pass. Patrick Mahomes style up over the top to the awaiting Tyke Thompson. I say Patrick Mahomes there because Alex Schumacher is a huge Chiefs fan and Mahomes is his dude. So I can totally get away with making a Chiefs reference on the broadcast because Schumacher himself is a Chiefs fan.
I mean, who isn't a fan? I mean, come on, that guy, he's special.
Reed in the high post. They look down low. Illich, that is some high-low action. That is classic stuff. Brett Reed finds Illich, and Illich now with 4 points. And everybody feeling it for the Saints. They lead at 72-25.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for St. Martin's, they're playing with such high confidence right now. They're having fun on the court, you know, and that's exactly what you wanted after that second half against Alaska. Just come out here, relaxed, play a strong game all around. I mean, this is exactly what Aaron Landon wanted tonight.
Tosh Phillips able to connect. And Aaron Landon will call a quick timeout to get some fresh bodies on the floor. 10:22 to play. And St. Martin's running away with things at 72-27. Well, as wildly popular as this Saints men's basketball team must be here inside Marcus Pavilion, we have another showstopper, an absolute scene stealer out here. This little man having a grand old time, dancing on the floor during timeouts, just rolled the ball across the floor to the official. That's a future Saint if ever I saw one right there, Austin Burns. What do you think?
I was going to say, you already getting the highlight tape going,
I think Aaron Landon's about to offer that kid a scholarship.
Oh, I would. That was a great full look pass right there.
That pass nearly intercepted. Instead, it's Hafner for three. Why not? Why not? Christian Hafner buries another three. That pass was nearly intercepted. It somehow made its way into Hafner's hands. He did the rest, teed it up from three. And suddenly the Loggers threatening to take a 50-point lead on Puget Sound. Here's Charlie DeMoore in the high post. Kicks back for Phillips. DeMoore gets it back. A couple of lefty dribbles to start his drive. Forces a shot up over Elich. It won't fall. And now it's Champ Spencer in the corner for the Saints.
And the Saints always have their eyes up in transition, always looking for that guy in the far corner.
Love it. Into the high post, it's Reed. Back to the corner for Hafner for three. Why not? Christian Hafner, just stop it. Stop it right now, you fool. Christian Hafner absolutely ruining everyone's life right now, especially mine.
Oh, I think he's got a cheat code or something going here tonight. It's fun.
Schumacher at Elich. Can't finish at the rim. Reed tries to keep it alive, but swats the ball into the baseline. And possession will go back to the Loggers. Goy Wang back on the floor for St. Martin's, as is Marky Adams. My goodness. This is, we hear, you hear about how games are a clinic sometimes. And that's a phrase that gets overused a lot. But right now, Austin, this is exactly that. 78-27. The Saints are truly putting on a clinic here in Marcus Pavilion.
Oh, and there's Marky Adams doing it again. And the thing you want to see as a coach is you want to see your guys continue to play on the defensive end. And they haven't taken a possession off. They're not walking up the floor. They're getting to their spots. This is, what you want to see as a coaching staff. This is a team really dedicated. And a traveling call there for Christian Hafner to prove he is human.
Hafner just took his eye off the ball for a moment, and the ball sort of rolled around in his hands. That extra step did tick off there as he was trying to set up Adams for what would have likely been another just staggering two-handed finish. Instead, it's Loggers basketball. They trail 78-27. Erickson flashes to the high post. Phillips pulls up just inside the free throw line. Contested shot doesn't fall. Goy Wang clears the rebound for the Saints. They look to the corner there. Spencer drifts out to get it. Now Hafner up top. Schumacher on the drive. Defers to Goy Wang. Spencer resets, 9 on the shot clock. Rolls off the Hafner screen. Spins toward the basket. Cal Hansen reaches in. Is he called for the foul, or is it just a swat out of bounds? Looks like it will be a foul called on Cal Hansen, and it will send Champ Spencer to the free throw line once we return on the other side of this break. Well, Saturday evening, Austin, the Saints caught a heater and then some, and they have just carried that momentum. They are riding that wave all the way through this game. You look at this score and you think Puget Sound can't play, but it's just unfortunate that they've got so many guys out tonight. Their leading scorer, Paul Johnson, unable to play. 3 other guys in their backcourt, all not available here this evening due to injury. This is a good Puget Sound team. Don't let this score fool you, folks. This Loggers team is going to be competitive in the Northwest Conference this season.
Absolutely. I mean, St. Martin's is also a guard-heavy team. They have a lot of options outside, and they've been able to find their mark tonight with, some players not in the lineup for the Loggers. But, again, Loggers play in a very difficult conference down at the Division III level. That is another conference a lot like the GNAC. You can't take a night off. And so I expect the Loggers, when they're fully healthy, they're going to be competing right there at the top of that conference. They got a lot of pieces on the floor. We just haven't seen tonight, but the numbers are there. This is a good squad. And when you rebound as well as they do, that can put you in a lot of games.
That was a long 2-point attempt from Musi Teklemariam and did not fall. Ball knocked around. Eventually a foul called on Christian Hafner. That's the 3rd foul on the Saints here in this second half. And the Loggers unable to find the hoop. It has been a long night for Puget Sound. They are now shooting just 21% from the floor. Looped pass ahead for Marky Adams. He sets up Chance Spencer in the corner. And Champ Spencer might have his way to find his way to a double-digit game if he's not careful. Give him 7 on the night. Every single guy for this team finding themselves here this evening. Hanson along the baseline. A little bit too strong. They try to get it back to him, but Adams there to tip it into the hands of Goy Wang. Skinny on the run out. Goes right, then left. Back to his right. Now kicks outside for Hafner. Thinks about a 3, and instead rolls a pass into the hands of Wang.
Oh, and, I just love watching Skinny bring the ball up the floor. He makes such great reads. There's a move just like that.
Silly business. A look off inside. Kicks to a wide open Champ Spencer, who buries another 3. 86-27 our score. What a play from Jaden Nielsen Skinner.
I mean, it's almost unfair to ask, but every time he touches the ball, I think he's going to do something amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is such a talented player. I mean, when I saw him in that first practice, I was on the other side of the gym up top just kind of watching, and he blew me away. But he's just gotten better and better, it feels like, every single week. And, man, come end of the season, wow, this guy could be right up there for GNAC Player of the Year. He really can be.
Well, all the guys that played so well in the second half of that St. Martin's game, I have to give him the credit because he set the rest of his teammates up for success. He was such a supremely elite playmaker in that game, finishing with those 10 assists on the night. He's got 6 more here this evening. And you can see that he is really starting to just take control. This offense is basically going to run through him running the point as this season wears on. A quick timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. Saints now shooting 51% from the floor, 53% from 3. 4 players now in double figures, led by Christian Hafner. All 18 of his points coming from beyond the three-point arc. He's hit 6 threes on the night for those 18. Alex Schumacher right behind him at 15 points on a very economical 6 of 8 shooting from the floor. He's also got 6 assists and 3 steals here in the contest. 2 more guys with 11 points apiece right now. It's Tyke Thompson with 11. And Champ Spencer, he has double figures. Those 2 free throws plus the 3 pushed him up and into double digits. How about Champ Spencer having himself a night? His first double-digit performance as a St. Martin Saint.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how he grows in his career again, starting to get some more quality minutes on the floor. I mean, you can tell the talent's there. Again, Saints got a lot of talent on this team. They're a very deep team. But I think a guy like Champ, you get to bring him in for 7-8 minutes, and he can put together some real quality minutes. That's the thing that can separate a good team from a great team, is being able to have that. Because when you get into, the gauntlet that is the GNAC, and just week after week after week, you need to be able to tap in reliably to that number 8-9 guy and get some great minutes. But there's Goy Wang right there coming up with the block.
And it becomes a shot clock violation for the Loggers. Here's something interesting too, Austin. I'm not sure if I can quite verify this or not, but it seems like just about every single time that we've come out of a timeout and the Loggers have had possession, the Saints have been able to shut down whatever the Loggers drew up during that timeout. We saw it on that possession just now. It eventually led to the shot clock violation, but on the initial part of that possession, the Saints were able to come away with a big-time stop. And now Champ Spencer lines up another three. And he nails that one as well. 14 points for Champ Spencer. Tekla Merriam the other way. Unable to find the range from distance.
Yeah, freshman's playing with a lot of confidence right now. That one right there was a heat check. He's feeling it. You want to try and get the ball back in his hands.
Has it here. Instead zips a pass to Wang. Now Nielsen Skinner with 10 on the shot clock. Bounces it to Linker. Drives. Kicks an look pass for Champ Spencer. That one a little bit too short, right in front of us. And Cal Hansen comes away with the rebound for Puget Sound. Under 5 to play now. Imani Mitchell looking inside for the local product, Grant Erickson. Hansen looks for him as well, but nothing doing. Reverses it back to Imani Mitchell. Under 10 on the shot clock. Mitchell on the drive. Gets bodied from behind by Hafner. Goes sprawling to the deck, and he will head to the free throw line. Nielsen Skinner, the lone starter on the floor at this point in the game for St. Martin's, but likely coming off here in just a moment. And he will be. It will be Velko Ilic back in.
Now you get to see Hafner probably going to bring up and become the point guard for this team. And that's one thing that it's not an easy thing to do, to be, you have Schumacher as well who can handle the ball, but Nielsen Skinner does a lot of that work, and he doesn't get to take many possessions off. So, that's a tiring role to be in, and he just plays at such a high level. And I think the thing about him for me is he always has a smile on his face. I mean, he's always having fun out there on the court, and that really can lift the spirits of your team. I know the guys see him as a team leader. What an addition to the program he's been.
Spencer in the high post kicks it out for Wang. Here's Linker and those lavender kicks he's got on. Back to Ilic. Wang fakes right, goes left, raises for three, too strong. Rebound batted around, winds up back in the hands of Wang, but it's taken away there by Tekla Merriam. Under 4 to play, and Musi Tekla Merriam will steer it across the timeline for the Loggers. Wang at the top of that zone. Saints have basically been in this zone defense pretty much wire to wire. Haven't really stepped out of it at all. Haven't had much of a need to. It has worked throughout this contest, and then some. Mid-air contact between Ilic and Hansen, no call. That ball, I think, might have even been tapped back by Cal Hansen, and it was. So Hansen with the athletic mid-air move. And it brings our score to 89-30, St. Martin's. Spencer tries for three, leaves it short. Not a lot of dip in the knees on that one. And here's Tekla Merriam. Runs over, Hafner, no call. Can't finish, rebound Ilic. Under 3 to play.
Yeah, and Saints now starting to slow down the game, starting to find their look in a half-court offense.
Couple of fancy dribbles from Hafner. Winds up with Spencer. Now Wang steps out. Between the legs, on the drive, tied up midair, and I believe we'll have a jump ball, and we will. Donovan Wilson just reaches in, ties up Wang on the drive, and that will bring us to a stoppage on the floor. St. Martin's in control, wire to wire on the GNAC. Make that the St. Martin's Digital Network. And as we get set for the final 2 minutes and 36 seconds, we had some late breaking news coming out of the St. Martin's Athletic Department this afternoon, Austin. This one came as quite a surprise to me. Why don't you tell us, Austin, what is going on within the athletic department here at St. Martin's?
Yeah, after 37 years, the Hall of Famer himself, Bob Grisham, will be calling it a career in June of 2022. Again, 37 years as the athletic director here at St. Martin's. Kind of give you some backstory. When he came here to coach the men's basketball team and be the athletic director at the same time, which you don't see that really anymore. St. Martin's had 2 programs. They had men's and women's basketball, and that was it. And under his leadership, we've grown to 15 varsity sports. The Saints have moved to the Division II level in the late 90s. And again, under Bob Grisham, the Saints have won their first national championship ever. 2 of them coming from high jumper Michael Smith. There's banners up in Marcus Pavilion. Those have all been during his tenure as this athletic director. I mean, the list goes on and on. The achievements, you can read the recap. And, I mean, honestly, that's just scratching the iceberg, the recap, because there was so much he did here at St. Martin's. I'm sure something will be named after him very shortly. Maybe Bob Grisham Way. And so, again, news coming out today that Bob Grisham in June of 2022 will be retiring as the St. Martin's athletic director. So for the first time in 37 years, St. Martin's will be looking for a new leader of their athletic department. Yeah. But all we want to do is wish Bob nothing but the best. Get to play some golf maybe in Hawaii or Arizona, work on the game there. And, wish him nothing but the best going into retirement.
Yeah, there's so many stories about old Bob Grisham that we'll get into this is late breaking news. This just came out this afternoon. Bob Grisham announcing that he will retire at the end of June next year. So we've got Bob Grisham still on the campus here at St. Martin's for another 7 months or so. And we're going to make the very most of it. There's so many stories. I'd love to break into a couple right now, and we'll get to them throughout the broadcast, throughout the season on the broadcast, to be sure. We'll probably have Bob on a couple of times, I would imagine, as well.
Absolutely.
To have a few chats and hear some stories, some of his favorite memories and moments in his career here at St. Martin's.
Yeah, one thing we asked is if you got any photos or any stories you want to share, make sure you send them to me, Austin Burns. You can find me on the SMU website. Get them to me. We can make sure we compile those all. We are collecting all those. Again, 37 years. There's a lot of those. So, feel free to share your memories about Bob Grisham.
Hey, by the way, speaking of late-breaking news, we've got a Saints debut on the floor happening before our very eyes. Cody Schramm has checked into the game for the first time, I believe, in his career as a St. Martin Saint. He steps out on Charlie DeBoer here. Champ Spencer clears the rebound for St. Martin's. We're under a minute to play. Just 2 Saints have yet to score in this contest. The man handling the ball right now is Christian Hafner. Marcus Linker handles here. And Schramm, the only 2 Saints that haven't scored. Will Schrinker get into the scoring column? He will. Marcus Linker makes it a 91-33 affair. 12 out of 13 Saints now have scored in this contest. Schramm the rebound for the Saints. Shot clock off. And I think the Saints will just hold the ball for the final few moments of this contest.
Oh, at 91-33. Offense clicking, defense on point. What a game for the Saints, full 40. Another nice W on the board. Aaron Landon is 6th on the season. And the Saints, they could be on the verge of rolling here to a couple W's in this schedule and coming in to the end of the 2021 season red hot.
The Saints scored the first 14 points of this game. They were never challenged in this game's entirety by Puget Sound. A very short-handed but capable and game Puget Sound team goes down tonight, a dominating win, wire to wire for St. Martin's. 91-33, our final score. We'll take a quick break, but folks, don't go anywhere. We'll hear from Saints head coach Aaron Landon in just a moment. The men's basketball post-game show is coming right up after this timeout. You're good.
That's our guy that we just signed.
And welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion for the St. Martin's men's basketball postgame show. And we are, as always, joined by Saints head coach Aaron Landon. And, well, Coach, you jump out to a 14-0 lead. They went on an 8-3 run, and then you closed the first half on a 35-9 run. You guys just got right out of the gate, picking up right where you left off from Saturday night, that enormous second half you guys had against Alaska, and you parlayed it right into a tidal wave of dominance here in tonight's game.
Yeah, I was just really proud of how we came out defensively. We figured out before the game their leading scorer and their main guys, he's out tonight. So we didn't get the best version of Puget Sound. Paul Johnson's averaging 21, super efficient and all that. But we, dealt with the same thing against Warner Pacific, right?
Yeah.
Their main guy was out. And
a former logger, in fact.
Yeah. And in that game, we just we took that as sort of a cue that we weren't going to be as focused, and we gave up 45 in that first half to Warner Pacific. So it was good to put ourselves back in that scenario. We talked a lot when we were in California just about what mature teams do and how to handle that. So, I just said, look, no fancy analytics or metrics. Let's just try to keep their number real low in the first half and lock up, and our guys did that. So proud of the defensive effort.
4 guys tonight wind up in double figures. 3 of them came off the bench to get there. If I'm not mistaken, I was trying to do the math in my head just now. I'm pretty sure your bench actually outscored the starters tonight. Talk, if you would, about what it means to be able to bring so many guys in off the bench that you can plug and play, and they're just right in the flow of the offense the second they step on the floor as well.
Yeah, it's really important. And really that's what this game, this whole stretch right now, like going into finals, that's what that needs to be about. We really tightened up our rotation for conference.
Yep.
And honestly, toward the end of that California trip, same thing. We're playing 7.5 maybe in terms of our rotation. We're going to really need to figure out who can be that 8th guy, and he'll need to be really meaningful in the rotation. So, Champ gave us good minutes tonight. Offensively, he hit shots. Velchko only played like 10 minutes tonight, but I just thought he did a really, really good job. He's been so awesome with just waiting his turn. He's got 2 really good bigs, and he's 23, 24 years old. Like, he gets it, and he knows, he'll be a senior next year. But he's just been so patient, and, tonight he comes out and hits the glass really hard. I thought he was good defensively. Yeah, so just, guys like Goy and Champ, like, Marcus getting more minutes. Just awesome, because those guys work super hard every single day, and our practices are really competitive, and I think that shows tonight. We got good players on our bench. We're just not used to going past 7 in our rotation.
Well, there's so many good things we could say about basically every single dude up and down this lineup, but one guy I want to focus in on, because I think he's been so central to how much better you've been at the offensive end of the floor, how much more efficient you've been. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner is emerging as an elite point guard right before our very eyes. The guy just does such a great job of setting his teammates up for success. The light has just come completely on for him here in the last game and a half. Talk about how having him suddenly just see the whole floor so well and have everything come so naturally for him over these last 60 minutes of basketball, what that means to your program too.
Yeah, I can't even explain it. It's just, it's a quarterback in football. It's don't even know what the other analogy would be. He's just, and it's not just the way he plays, it's just his energy. He just shows up, and I always used to tease him. We'd go down to these AAU events in Salem, and when we were recruiting him, I said, you need to get back to sort of being the mayor. Like, he would shake everybody's hand. He just knew everybody. Just like a politician that everybody is, gravitating toward. His energy is just so great. And coaching basketball is really, really fun. But it's especially fun when you've got a point guard that's smarter than you. He's able to – no, really, I mean, he's able to come into the office and just say, just keep coaching our D, and he knows what we're thinking. And, he's just super smart. So I'm looking at it like we have 24 assists, And
on 34 makes.
Yeah, on 34 makes, we shared the ball, and so you'd like to say, like, well, I mean, he's got to have another 10 assists tonight. But tonight what he did is he just builds your advantage, and he gets that defense rotating, and then all of a sudden, like, it's infectious. And then everybody's sharing the ball. So he got the pass that led to the second pass and the third pass and the fourth pass, and I thought we had some really good possessions just out of transition. And then late in the game, we told him, I respect Aubrey so much. He's such a good coach, and just, let's slow down and let's run offense. And he was really good just talking to guys about here's how we should be playing right now. Let's be methodical and smart and take quality shots. And, he's just awesome. So really, really lucky that he's on our side.
Yeah, in these last 2 games, 16 assists, 4 turnovers. That's a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in these last 2 performances. Give him 20 points as well. It's just so great to see him really become that spark plug for this offense. Now, all of a sudden, you got a couple more days off. You turn your sights toward the Capital Classic. You've got Evergreen coming in here on Saturday evening. What do you expect to see from the Gooey Ducks this time around?
Just that they want to kick our ass. They're going to be fired up to play. All these guys run into each other in the off season at open gyms and stuff like that, and we got a lot of guys, from the NWAC, and they got some guys from the NWAC, and so Tyke Thompson and John Moore and Marky Adams. I mean, they played against LeBrandon Price and Austin Curry when they were at Centralia, so we know those guys, and they're good, man. Those guys, Austin Curry and LeBrandon Price, they grew up down the road, and they both played at Timberline and River Ridge.
Yep.
So
they can both really, really play.
I don't
have to tell
really
you that. I'm sure you've seen them play a lot more than I have. I've seen them several times myself, but those are 2 very special, very gifted basketball players.
Yeah. So they'll be, and they'll have their families, their friends here. They're in Lacey. They're not stuck on the west side, so it's even easier for the family to get out. And those guys really know how to compete, and they'll challenge us because they're going to be different. Puget Sound. They play Cal Hansen, who I think is a really, really special player, and Grant Erickson, who I love. He's a local kid. They played 2 bigs. Evergreen just plays guards, and they'll race up and down, and it's not just going to be easy to, try to speed it up with them. That's what they want. So we're just going to have to be sharp defensively and make sure that we value the ball, because both those guys and their point guard, Mitch Wetmore, they'll do a good job picking us up and trying to take us out of our stuff.
Coach, with this win, you have improved on the regular season so far this year to 6-3. You've got as many wins already this year as you did in your first season here at St. Martin's, plus the COVID-shortened season earlier this winter. Congratulations on getting to that number, and 6-3. It's rolling right now. You're laughing a little bit, I think. But it's a big deal. This is a program that is very much headed in the right direction.
Yeah, no, we just want to get better. The GNAC's so good. I mean, you're looking up and down the standings. Western Oregon's 2-0, and everybody else is 1-1. I think Fairbanks is the only team that's 0-2. So we just had the conversation yesterday. Let's just use these. Let's get better. We got 2 weeks. We got this finals week, and all of a sudden we always talk about what does 1-0 do for you. That's what good teams, they get to have that conversation. And if we go 1-0 against Western Oregon, then we're 2-1, and we're tied in the front of the pack. And it's early, but you can only live in the moment. So I just hope that we can improve. And we got a really, really fun group. Like, it's exciting to show up to work. We just got the right people in the program, and as coaches, we just got to figure it out and get better, because the GNAC's going to be really tough.
Here's how much I love head coach Aaron Landon. The whole time he's standing here talking to me for this entire segment, he's still poring over the stat sheet the entire time, just soaking up all the numbers, looking at all of it. Coach, we're going to let you get down to the locker room where you can continue to pore over the stat sheet and celebrate this gigantic win with your squad. Great win tonight, and we'll see you once again come Saturday. Okay?
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Go Saints.
All right, Coach. That is Saints head coach Aaron Landon stopping by to chat a few post-game thoughts with us. In fact, I think we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that. We'll give head coach Aaron Landon the final word for tonight's broadcast. Fans, don't miss out at all. If you're able to get here for the games against Evergreen this Saturday, we would love to see you in the stands. The women's basketball game between the Gooey Ducks and the Saints will tip off at 3. The men's game will follow at about 5:15. If you can't make it here in person, be sure to check us out here on the Saints Digital Network. That is going to do it for us here for tonight On behalf of Austin Burns and everyone in the athletic department here at St. Martin's University, this is Jeff Lucero signing off. We'll see you on Saturday at 3 and 5:15 p.m. for more St. Martin's basketball. Good night.